So, hello everyone, good evening. So, here we shall solve some more JEE Mains previous year questions on the chapter units and measurements. So, any doubts if you have, please write us in the comments section. We shall obviously clarify them in the subsequent videos. And also in any other chapter of physics, if you feel more difficulty, then please mention the name of that chapter also in the comments section, so that we can give more priority on it and solve more and more questions on that chapter. So here it is told that the position of an ant s in meters moving in yz plane is given as s equal to 2t square j cap plus 5 k cap, where t is in seconds. The magnitude and direction of velocity of the ant at t equal to 1 second is, so at t equal to 1 second, so first we have to find v is equal to ds by dt. So that will be equal to, so this is the position vector. So this will be d by dt of 2t square j cap plus 5 k cap. So this will be equal to 4t j cap plus 0 k cap. So this will be 4t j cap. So therefore the velocity at t equal to 1 second, that will be equal to 4 j cap meter per second. So it is along the y direction. It is 4. So it means I can say it is 4 meter per second in y direction. So option D is the correct answer. Then here it is told the position of a particle related to time is given as x equal to 5t square minus 4t plus 5 meter. Then the magnitude of velocity of the particle at t equal to 2 second will be, magnitude of velocity of the particle at t equal to 2 second will be, so velocity will be 10t minus 4 meter per second. So at t equal to 2 seconds, the velocity will be, its magnitude will be, so how we got v is equal to dx by dt. So it is the velocity along the x-axis, which will be 10t minus 4. So at t equal to 2 seconds, the velocity will be 10 into 2 minus 4 meter per second. So that will be 20 minus 4, that is 16 meter per second. So option B is the correct answer. Then here it is told the distance traveled by an object in time t is given as s equal to 2.5 t square. The instantaneous speed of the particle at t equal to 5 seconds will be, so the instantaneous speed will be ds by dt. This will be the instantaneous speed. So that will be equal to 2 into 2.5, that is 5t meter per second. And at t equal to 5 seconds, so that will be, v will be 5 into 5, that is 25 meter per second. So option D is the correct answer. Then here it is told passenger sitting in train A moving at 90 km per hour observes the train B moving in the opposite direction for 8 seconds. If the velocity of the train B is 54 km per hour, the length of the train B is 54 km per hour. So it means the train A is moving, the train A is moving at a speed of 90 km per hour. Or I can say, so the speed of the train A, that is 90 km per hour, or I can say that is 90 into 5 by 18. So 18 5s are 90, so that is 25 meter per second. So speed of the train A, that is 25 meter per second. And another train B, that is moving at a speed of 54 km per hour. So that is equal to 54 into 5 by 18. So 18 3s are 54, 3 5s are, so this is 15 meter per second. So this is 15 meter per second and it is moving in the opposite direction. So therefore, the passenger in the train A will be able to see the train B till it will cover the length of the train B. So it means, see, so if the length of the train B is equal to suppose L, so that this L will be equal to speed of the train A with respect to the train B into the time interval for which the passenger can observe the train B. So it means the length of train A we have to find, that is VAB. VAB that will be equal to 25 plus 15 meter per second. So that is 40 meter per second. So L will be equal to 40 into T, it is 8 seconds. That is equal to 320 meters. So it means the length of the train B is 320 meters. So option D is the correct answer. And here it is told two trains A and B of length L and 4L are traveling into a tunnel of length L in parallel tracks from opposite directions with velocities 108 km per hour and 72 km per hour respectively. If train A takes 35 seconds less time than train B to cover the tunnel length, then the length of the tunnel is the train A will move through a tunnel, a tunnel. Let's say the length of the tunnel is L and length of the train A is L. So it will cross the tunnel when it will cover the length of the tunnel plus the length of the train. So it means L plus L, that will be equal to speed of the train A into the time T A, the time taken by train A. Then so let's say the time taken by train A, that is equal to T. Then it means the time taken by train B, that is equal to T plus 35 seconds. Since why here it is told that train A takes 35 seconds less time than train B to cross the length, to cross the tunnel. So therefore L plus L, that will be equal to V. So now therefore VA, that will be equal to 108 into 5 by 18 kilometer meter per second. So that is 18, 6 8 is 48. Okay, so this is 6. So this is 30 meter per second. And speed of the train B, that is equal to 72 into 5 by 18, that is 18 4 is 72, 4 5 is 20 meter per second. Similarly, when the train B will cover the same tunnel and it will come from the opposite direction and its length is 4L, length of train B is 4L, and it will cover the length of the tunnel, that is L. So speed of the train B, so therefore I can tell L plus 4L, that will be equal to speed of the train B into the time taken by train B. You have to find the length of the tunnel. And it is also given that L equals to 60L. So therefore we can tell 60L, so 64L, that will be equal to VB, speed of train B, that is 20 meter per second into time. Time is T plus 35. So this is equation 1. And here we see that is L plus L, that is, so this is 60L, 60L, so 61L. 61L, that is equal to, this will be 30 into T. 50 into T. It means that T will be equal to 61 by 30 into L. Therefore, I can tell 64L, that is equal to 20 into we can do one thing, we can subtract these two equations. We subtract these two equations, then we will get we'll get 3L, that is equal to 20T plus 700 minus 30T. So 3L equals to 10 to 700 minus 10T. So it means that 10T, that will be equal to 700 minus 3L. So in place of 10T, we can put 700 minus 3L. So therefore 61L, that will be equal to 3 into 700 minus 3L. So then we can get 61L, that will be equal to 2100 minus 9L. So therefore 70L, that is equal to 2100. Therefore L will be equal to 2100 by 70. So this will be 73, that is 30. And then L, we have to find L is the length of the train. No, sorry, length of the tunnel, that is 60L. So it will be 60 into 30 meters. So that is 1800 meters. 1800 meter is the length of the tunnel. So option C is the correct answer. Then here it is told a ball is thrown vertically upwards with an initial velocity of 150 meter per second. A ball is thrown vertically upwards with an initial velocity of 150 meter per second. The ratio of velocity after 3 seconds and 5 seconds is the ratio of the velocity after 3 seconds and 5 seconds is x plus 1 by x, then value of x's. So here it is told v5 by v3, that is equal to x plus 1 by x. Then x is how much? So velocity after 5 seconds, that will be equal to, so g will act, g is equal to, it is told to take 10 meter per second square. G will act vertically downwards. So v, as you know, v is equal to u plus at. So here u is 150 meter per second. Suppose if we take the vertically upwards as the positive direction, then u will be plus 150 meter per second and acceleration will be minus 10 meter per second square. So v5, v at time t equal to 5 seconds. v5 is v at the final velocity at t equal to 5 seconds. So that will be u minus 10 into 5. So that will be 150 minus 50, that is 100 meter per second. And velocity after 3 seconds, so that is velocity at t equal to 3 seconds. So this will be u minus g into t, which is 3. 150 minus 30, that is 120 meter per second. 120 meter per second. The ratio of velocity after 3 seconds and 5 seconds is, so this is actually v3 by v5, not v5 by v3. Okay. So therefore v3 by v5, that is equal to 120 by 100 meter per second. So that is equal to x plus 1 by x. Then we have to find out x. So therefore 120 by 100, that is equal to x plus 1 by x. So if you simplify it, then we will get 2 6 are 12, 2 5 are 10. So therefore 6x that is equal to 5x plus 5. Therefore x is equal to 5. So x is equal to 5. So option C is the correct answer. Then here it is told a projectile is projected at 30 degree from horizontal with initial velocity 40 meter per second. A projectile is projected at an angle of 30 degree with the horizontal. So here theta is equal to 30 degree and u initial velocity that will be 40 meter per second. The velocity of the projectile at t equal to 2 seconds from the start. So we have to find how much will be the velocity at t equal to 2 seconds. And g we have to take it as 10 meter per second square, which will always act vertically downwards. So therefore, as you know, v equals to the velocity vector at any time, that is vx I cap plus vy j cap, and vy that is equal to uy minus gt, and vx that is same as ux, since acceleration is not acting along the x-axis, so that is equal to u cos theta. So this will be equal to u sine theta minus gt. So therefore vx at time t is equal to 2 seconds. So that will be u cos theta. U is 40 into cos theta, cos 30 degree. So that is 40 into root 3 by 2. That is equal to 20 root 3 meter per second. And vy that is equal to u sine theta, so which is 40 into sine 30, that is half, minus g 10 into t. T is 2. So that is 20 minus 20, that is equal to 0 meter per second. So therefore the velocity at t equal to 2 seconds, that will be equal to, actually this is so x axis, that is 20 root 3 meter per second I cap plus 0 j cap. So therefore the magnitude of the velocity has been asked at t equal to 2 seconds, so that will be equal to 20 root 3 meter per second. 20 root 3 meter per second. So option A is the correct answer. From the VT graph shown, the ratio of distance to displacement. From the VT graph shown, the ratio of distance to displacement in 25 seconds of motion is. So this is the velocity VT graph. So from 20 second to 25 second, uh, the displacement is negative. So so this part we have to add if we want to find the distance. Now, therefore, the total distance that is traveled, that will be equal to the area of this trapezium part. So that is half into sum of parallel sides, which is 5 plus 10, it is 15, into height. Height is 10. Plus this is also a trapezium part. So this is also half into sum of parallel sides, which is 10 plus 20, that is 30, into height. Height is 5. plus this is half base into height. This is a triangle. Half base is 5 into height. Height is 20. And plus this will be also half into base into height. Height is also 20. So this will be 5 is the 10, 15 5 is the 75 plus 2 15 to the 30, 15 5 is the 75 plus 2 10s are 20, 15 is 50 plus 2 10s are 20, 15 is 50. So this is 150, 2 5 is 10, 2 7s are 14, 150 plus 100, that is equal to 250 meters. So this is the distance traveled. And then we have to find the displacement. So here we have to add this. We have to add this part, and this part is negative displacement, so we have to subtract this part. So it means it will be half into 15 into 10 plus half into 30 into sum of the parallel sides into height, 30 into 5 plus half into base into height. Then this will be minus half into base into height. Since here, as you can see, here velocity is negative. This is negative displacement. So therefore, these two parts will get cancelled. Only these two we have to add. So which is 2 5s are 10, 2 15s are 30. So 15 5s are 75. So this is equal to 150 meters. So therefore, we have to find the ratio of distance to displacement in 25 seconds of motion. Therefore, the ratio of distance to displacement in the first 25 seconds of motion, that is 250 meter by 150 meters, 250 by 150 meters. So that will be 0 0 5 3 15 5 5 25. So this is equal to 5 by 3. That means option D is the correct answer. Then here it is told a person travels x distance with velocity v1 and x distance with velocity v2 in the same direction. The average velocity of the person is v. Then the relation in between v1, v2, and v1 and v2 will be. So therefore, the man travels a distance x with velocity v1 and the next same distance x with velocity v2 in the same direction. So therefore, we have to find the average velocity, that is your v, that is equal to the total displacement by total time. Total displacement divided by total time. So total displacement, that is 2x, x plus x, and the total time, that will be t1 plus t2. So here the time taken t1, that will be x by v1, and here the time taken, that is t2, that is x by v2. So these we have to add. So that is x by v1 plus x by v2. So therefore, as you can see, v is coming 2x by v1 plus x by v2. So if we take this v here and this part we can take it here, so then we will get x by v1 plus x by v2, that is equal to 2x by v. Now x we can take common and then we can cancel out. Then we will get 2 by v, that is equal to 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. 2 by v, that is 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. So option D is the correct answer. Then here it is told two projectiles are projected at 30 degree. One is angle 30 degree with the horizontal, and one is at an angle of 60 degree with the horizontal, with the same speed. The ratio of the maximum height attained by the two projectiles respectively is. So the maximum height attained by the first projectile, that will be u square u square sine square theta by 2g. So that will be u square sine square 30 degree by 2g. So this will be u square into sine square theta, that is 1 by 2 whole square by 2g, that will be equal to u square by 2 to the 4, so 8g, u square by 8g. And in the second case, the height that is attained, the maximum height attained, that will be equal to u square sine square theta by 2g. So that will be, so here u is same, initial velocity is same, but the angle theta 1 and theta 2, they are not same. So this will be equal to u square sine square 60 degree divided by 2g. Sine square 60 degree divided by 2g. So this will be equal to u square sine square theta. So this is root 3 by 2 whole square divided by 2g. So this will be 3 by 8g, 3u square by 8g. Now therefore, the ratio of the heights, the ratio of the maximum heights that is attained, h1 is to h2, that will be equal to u square by 8g is to 3u square by 8g. So that will be equal to 1 is to 3. So option C is the correct answer. Here it is told the range of the projectile projected at an angle of 50 degree with 15 degree with horizontal is 50 meters. If the projectile is projected with same angle, same velocity at an angle of 45 degree with the horizontal, then its range will be. So as we know, range, horizontal range, that is given as u square sine 2 theta by g, where theta is the angle of projection. So if theta is equal to 15 degree, then it is told the range is equal to 50 meters. So then if theta equals, if the angle of theta is called the angle of projection, angle of projection. So if theta is equal to 45 degree, then what will be the range? That has been asked. So therefore now range, that is 50 meter, that is equal to u square sine 2 into 15 degree divided 15 degree divided by g. So that is u square sine 30 degree by g. So therefore it means 50, the value 50, that is equal to u square sine 30, that is half. So that is u square by 2g. U square by 2g is equal to 50. So therefore u square by g, that is equal to 2 into 50, that is equal to 100 meter. Now we have to find the range when theta is 45 degrees. So now therefore the new value of the range, the new range at 45 degree angle, that will be equal to u square sine 2 into 45 degree divided by g. So that will be equal to u square sine 90 degree divided by g. So sine 90 is 1, so which is u square by g. So the new range is 100 meters. So the range will be increased to 2 times. Range will be increased to 2 times. So option B is the correct answer. So here it is told the position time graph for two students A and B returning from the school to their homes are shown in figure. A lives closer to the school, B lives closer to the school. So which of these options are correct? We have to choose. Means we have to choose the correct answer from the options given below. So A lives closer to the school or B lives closer to the school. A takes lesser time to reach the home. A travels faster than B or B travels faster than A. So here, as you can see, the slope of the position time graphs, slope of position time graph gives the velocity, gives the velocity. So therefore here you can see that the slope for B is higher, is greater than that of A. So it means that the velocity of B is more than velocity of A. It means B travels faster than A. So E is correct. E is correct. And then uh, so D is not true. D is wrong. And so A reaches the home. So A reaches here. So for A, the from school to their homes. So they started from school. Here, the origin is the school, and their home is here. So for A, home is closer to the school. For B, home is slightly farther than that from the school. So A lives closer to the school. So it means A is correct. And also A takes lesser time to reach home, which is false. Since why B takes lesser time to reach the school, reach his house. Since why this time interval is lesser than obviously this time interval. Since why it is here from the graph we can see that A and B reach the home at at almost the same time. So for B the time interval is higher. So TB is more than TA. So B takes no sorry TB is lesser than TA. TB is lesser than TA. So it means that B takes lesser time to reach the home. So it means A and E only are correct options, are correct statements. So option B is the correct answer. Then here it is told, given below are two statements. Statement one is that area under the velocity time graph gives the distance traveled by the body in a given time. Area under velocity time graph gives the distance traveled by the body in a given time. So it is true since why the displacement equals to integral v dt. So it is the area under the graph of velocity time graph. Is the actually it should be equal to the displacement. The area under velocity time graph gives the displacement. Area under acceleration time graph gives the is equal to the change in velocity in the given time. Yeah, since why as we know that delta v equals to integral a dt. So it is the area under the acceleration time graph. So statement 2 is correct. Statement 2 is true. Statement 1 is incorrect since why it is not equal to the distance traveled, it is the displacement. So statement 1 is false, statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is true. So option C is the correct answer. Since if it had been a speed versus time graphs, for speed time graph, the area under speed time graph will give us the distance traveled, but area under displacement time graph will give us the area under velocity time graph will give us the displacement. And here it is told the trajectory of a projectile projected from the ground is given by y equals to x minus x square by 20, where x and y are measured in meter. The maximum height attained by the projectile will be. So at maximum height, at y equal to maximum height, the dy by dx that will be equal to 0. It means the slope at the top of the projectile, the slope is 0 at the highest point. since the tangent is parallel to the x-axis. It means the velocity is parallel to the x-axis. So therefore dy by dx, that will be equal to d by dx of x minus x square by 20. So that will be equal to 1 minus 2x by 20, that is equal to 1 minus x by 10. That should be equal to 0. So x should be equal to 10. So at x equal to 10, y, so it means therefore the maximum height attained by the pro projectile, that is the value of y at x equal to 10. This will be x minus x square by 20 at x equal to 10. So this will be 10 minus 10 square, so 10 into 10 by 20, so it is 2 5s are 10, 10 minus 5, that is equal to 5 meter. 5 meter is the maximum height, so option B is the correct answer. Then it is told two projectiles A and B are thrown with initial velocities 40 meter per second and 60 meter per second at angles 30° and 60° with the horizontal respectively. The ratio of their ranges respectively is. So two projectiles, one is thrown at an angle of 30° with a initial velocity u1 which is 40 meter per second, and another projectile is thrown at an angle of 60° with an initial velocity u2 of 60 meter per second with the horizontal. The ratio of the ranges respectively is. So r1, that will be equal to u1 square sine square u1 square sine 2 theta 2 into 30° by g, and r2 will be u2 square sine 2 theta sine 2 into 60° by g. So this will be equal to u square sine 60° by g u1 square. So this will be equal to u2 square sine 120° by g. Now sine 120 that is equal to sine 180 minus 60, 180 minus 60°, which is in the second quadrant, so which is same as sine 60°. So therefore r1 is to r2, that will be equal to u1 square sine square 60° by g in is to u2 square sine square 120° by g. No, sine, sorry, this is sine, not square, this is sine 60° by g is to use u2 square sine 120° by g. So this will be equal to, so g and g will get cancelled, so u1 square that is 40 square into sine 60, and this is also u2 square which is 60 square sine 60°. Since y sine 120 is same as sine 60, so these two will cancel out, so we shall get 40 into 40 is to 60 into 60. Therefore this is 40 into 40 by 60 into 60, so that is 0 0 0 0 will cancel, 2 to the 4 2 0 6, 2 to the 4 2 0 6, so that is 4 is to 9. 4 is to 9, so option A is the correct answer. Then it is told a particle starts with an initial velocity of 10 meter per second along the x direction. So initial velocity along x, that is 10 meter per second, and it accelerates uniformly at the rate of 2 meter per second square. So acceleration, that is equal to 2 meter per second square. Then the time taken by the particle to reach the velocity of 60 meter per second is. So the time taken by the particle to reach the velocity of 60 meter per second is, so v is 60 meter per second. So at which time it will attain this velocity that has been asked. So therefore v will be equal to u plus a into t. So 2t will be equal to 50, so t will be equal to 25 seconds. So the time taken by the particle to reach 60 meter per second is 25 seconds. So option D is the correct answer. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion A and the other is labeled as reason R. Then it is told assertion A is when a body is projected at an angle of 45 degree, its range is maximum. So it is true, since y r equals to then u square sine 2 theta 2 into 45 degree by g. So that will come u square by g, since sine 90 is equal to 1. Sine 90 is 1. So it is u square by g. Then the reason is for maximum range, the value of sine 2 theta should be equal to 1. Yeah, so it is true. So both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. Option A is the correct answer. Then here it is told an object moves with speed v1, v2, and v3 along a line segment AB, BC, and CD respectively, as shown as in figure, where AB equal to BC and AD equal to 3AB. So AD is equal to 3 times AB. So let's say if we take AB length as x, then AD will be equal to 3x, and BC also will be equal to AB, that is equal to x. So this one is x, this length is x, and BC is also x, and AD that is x. So CD that will be equal to AD minus AC, which is equal to 3x minus 2x, which is equal to x. So this is also equal to x. So then the average speed of the object will be, so here in AB its speed is v1, in the length BC its speed is v2, and its in CD its speed is v3. So therefore the average speed, as you know, that is equal to the total distance traveled by total time. Total distance by total time. Total distance by total time. So that will be equal to the total distance traveled, that will be equal to 3x divided by total time. So that is t1 plus t2 plus t3, means here the time required to cover this distance AB, that will be equal to t1, that is x by v1, and time t2 that is required to cover the length BC, that will be x by v2, and time t3 that is required to cover the length CD, that is x by v3. So this is x by v1 plus x by v2 plus x by v3. So therefore the average speed v average, that will be equal to 3x by x by v1 plus x by v2 plus x by v3. So therefore I can say this will be 3x will cancel, x I can cancel out if I take common, and it will come x 3 by 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus 1 by v3. And here if we simplify it, then the LCM is v1 v2 v3, and here it will be v2 v3 plus v3 v1 plus v1 v2. So therefore the average velocity, the average speed, that is equal to 3 v1 v2 v3 by v1 v2 plus v2 v3 plus v3 v1. v1 v2 v3 by this. So option D is the correct answer. Then here it is told a child stands on the edge of the cliff 10 meter above the ground. He stands at the edge of a cliff 10 meter above the ground, so the height is 10 meter, and throws a stone horizontally with an initial speed of 5 meter per second, neglect air resistance, then the speed with which the stone hits the ground will be. So with how much speed the stone will hit the ground? That speed we have to find out. So v actually that will be square root of vx square plus vy square, which will have some x component and some y component. Now for the initial velocity, the x component is 5 meter per second and the y component is 0. Uy will be 0. And g is acting vertically downwards, g which is 10 meter per second square, which is the acceleration due to gravity, and there is no air resistance. So it is under free fall. So therefore, Vy that will be equal to Uy plus Gt. We can actually solve by using conservation of energy also, but we can solve it by using the laws of um, the equations of motion only. Let's say t is the time of flight, then Vy will be equal to Uy plus Gt, and h will be equal to half Gt square. So the time of flight will be equal to root over 2h by g. So Vy that is equal to 0 plus g into root over 2h by g. So therefore Vy will be equal to root over 2gh. And similarly Vx that will be equal to ux only, it will remain constant, which will be equal to u, which is 5 meter per second. So therefore Vy that will be equal to root over 2 into 10 into 10. H is also 10. So that will be equal to 10 root 2 meter per second. So therefore, the speed at which the stone hits the ground, v will be equal to square root of vx square plus vy square. So that will be 10 root 2 whole square, 10 root 2 whole square plus 5 square. So this will be equal to root over 200 plus 25. So that is root over 225, which is equal to 15 meter per second. 15 meter per second. So option D is the correct answer. And here it is told the initial speed of a projectile fired from ground is u. The initial speed of the projectile fired from ground, that is u. Then at the highest point during its motion, the speed of the projectile, that is root 3 u by 2. So it means at the highest point, as we know, it will have only the x component, which is root 3 u by 2. Then the time of flight of the projectile is, so time of flight, as you know, that is equal to 2u sine theta by g. And ux, as you know, if the angle of projection is theta with the horizontal, then ux will be equal to u cos theta, and uy will be equal to u sine theta. So the time of flight is 2u sine theta by g. Now this ux that is equal to root 3 u by 2, that is equal to u cos theta. So therefore cos theta will be equal to root 3 by 2, and therefore sine theta will be equal to square root of 1 minus cos square theta. Therefore sine theta that will be equal to root over 1 minus root 3 by 2 whole square is equal to root over 1 minus 3 by 4, which is equal to root over 1 by 4, which is equal to 1 by 2. So sine theta is 1 by 2. Now therefore the time of flight which has been asked, that is equal to 2u. U is, okay, u only, 2u sine theta. So sine theta is half by g. 2u sine theta by g. It means that the time of flight is equal to u by g. So option A is the correct answer. Then here it is told spherical insulating ball and spherical metallic ball of same size and mass are dropped from the same height. Choose the correct statement of the out of the following. A spherical insulating ball is there and a spherical metallic ball is there. So it is the insulating ball and this is the spherical metallic ball. And it is of same size means their radius is same and they have same mass also, mass is same. And they are dropped from the same height also. Choose the correct statement out of the following. So here both will reach the earth simultaneously. Both will reach the earth simultaneously only, since why they are dropped from the same height, and time of flight will be equal to root over 2h by g if they are dropped from the same height. Since why the time of flight it is proportional to the square root of h only, means the height from where the ball is dropped. So since they are dropped from the same height, it is told, so it means their time of flight will be also same. So the answer is that both will reach the earth's surface simultaneously. And here it is told a vehicle travels 4 km with speed 3 km per hour and another 3 km with speed of 5 km per hour. Then its average speed is. Now therefore the average speed that is given as equal to total distance traveled by total time. Okay. So average speed is total distance traveled by total time. So he travels first 4 km with a speed of 3 km per hour speed, which is V1. And the second next 4 km also he traveled with 5 km per hour. So then it means the time required in the first case T1, the time required in the first case, that is distance by speed, which is 4 by 3 hours, and the time required in the second case, that is distance by speed, that is 4 by 5 hours. Therefore the average speed that will be equal to the total distance travel, that is 8 kilometer divided by 4 by 3 hours plus 4 by 5 hours. Therefore the average speed that will be equal to 8 by 4 into 1 by 3 plus 1 by 5, this much kilometer per hour. So this will be equal to 4 to the 8. So 2 by, this is 3 5 the 15, 5 plus 3, this much kilometer per hour. So therefore the average speed that will be equal to 2 into 15 by 8 kilometer per hour. This will be 2 4 the 8. This is 15 by 4 kilometer per hour. So if we solve it, then we will get 4 4 the 16. 4 4 the 16, 4 3 is a 12, 3.75 kilometer per hour. 3.75 kilometer per hour. So option A is the correct answer. Then it is told match column 1 with column 2. Match the column 1 with column 2. XT graph, VT graphs. So here column 1, this is XT graph. So here the slope is increasing, means the velocity is increasing uniformly. It means x is a, here x is a quadratic function of t. So you can say it is like x is equal to like alpha t square. So in this form. So v will be equal to alpha t. So it means the velocity will be a linear function of time. So it means a will match with 2. A will match with 2. And then b, which is x equal to, I can say here, there is one exponential decrease, I can say. This x will be equal to x naught minus, or you can say x naught into some uh, x naught into some a power minus t. It means dx by dt if you do, which is v. Since here you can see it is an exponentially decreasing function. So v will be equal to dx by dt. Here we will get it as minus x naught a power minus t into log a, or into ln a. So it means this, I can say it is minus v naught a power minus t. So it means at t equal to 0, it is negative. So it means it is also exponentially decreasing function, also exponentially. So, so it means that it is also an exponential function. So it means b will match with 4. B will match with 4. So obviously option B is the answer, but still we can check the C and D parts. So in C here, x is a linear function of time till here, then it is also linear again. So here the velocity is constant, x equal to vt, I can say. So here velocity is constant, here also velocity is constant, but it is a negative velocity. Here this part is having positive slope, so it is having positive velocity, which is constant, and here also it is having negative velocity, which is also constant. So it means that C will match with 3, obviously. C will match with 3. And then D, that is here also x is a linear function of time. So x is equal to v naught into t, I can say. So here dx by dt will be equal to v naught. So it means it is moving with a uniform or constant velocity. So it means D will match with 1. D will match with 1. So A2, B4, C3, D1. So option B is the correct answer. Then here it is told the distance traveled by a particle. The distance traveled by a particle is related to time as x equal to 4t square. Then the velocity of the particle at t equal to 5 seconds is. The distance traveled by a particle is related to time t as x equal to 4t square. The velocity of the uh, particle at time t equal to 5 seconds is. So velocity will be equal to dx by dt. So that will be equal to 4 dt by dt of 4t square. So this will be equal to 8t. So the velocity at time t equal to 5 seconds, that will be equal to 8 into 5, that is equal to 40 meter per second. Option D is the correct answer. And here it is told two objects are projected with same velocity u, however at different angles alpha and beta with the horizontal. If alpha plus beta equal to 90 degree, the ratio of the horizontal range of the first object to the second object will be. So I can tell that one projectile is thrown with the initial velocity u with the where the angle of projection is alpha, and another one is thrown with an angle of with an angle of projection which is beta, and initial velocity is u. So here the range in the first case, that is equal to u square sine 2 alpha by g, and in the second case that is u square sine 2 beta by g. Now it is told that alpha plus beta is 90 degrees, so therefore we can tell beta equal to 90 degree minus alpha. So therefore 2 beta, that will be equal to 180 degree minus 2 alpha. So therefore sine 2 beta, I can say that is sine 180 degree minus 2 alpha, and sine 180 degree minus theta, that is equal to sine theta. So this will be also equal to sine 2 alpha. So therefore R1 is to R2, R1 is to R2 means the ratio of their horizontal ranges of the first object to the second object, that will be equal to u square sine 2 alpha by g is to u square sine 2 beta by g, and we have proved that sine 2 beta equal to sine 2 alpha. So these two will get cancelled and the ratio will be 1:1. So it means option A is the correct answer. Then here it is told a car travels a distance of x with speed v1 and then same distance x with speed v2 in the same direction. The average speed of the car is. So the average speed of the car, that will be equal to the the total distance traveled divided by total time. The total distance traveled divided by the total time taken. So the total distance will be equal to x plus x, that is 2x, and the total time for the first case, it is traveling x with a speed v1. Therefore here the time taken will be distance by speed, that is x by v1, and in the second case it travels the same distance x but now with speed v2. So the the time required in the second case, that will be equal to x by v2. So the total time, that will be equal to t1 plus t2, that is x by v1 plus x by v2. So here x will get cancelled, then we will get 2 by 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. So this will be 2 v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. It is 2 v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. So option B is the correct answer. And here it is told that the velocity time graph of a body moving in a straight line is shown in the figure. The ratio of displacement to distance traveled by the body in time 0 to 1 second is. So as you know, area under velocity time graph will give us the displacement, and if we take the magnitude of velocity, then we will get the speed, then we will have the speed time graph. So for the speed, we have to take these negative displacement as positive, since why we have to take the distance traveled. So distance uh, is actually the area under speed time graph. It means area under the magnitude of velocity versus time graph. So the area of these two regions that should be added in case of distance, and in case of displacement we should subtract these areas, since why these are negative displacements. So therefore the displacement that, or yeah, the displacements that will be equal to uh, the area of this uh, rectangle, which is length into breadth. Length is 2 units, 2 seconds, and breadth breadth is 8 meter per second. So 8, 2 into 8 plus this is also 2 into this length is 4. Here also length is 4 and width is 4, plus this will be length is 2 and width is 4. So this much m- meters. Sorry, here we have to take negative sign, since these are the negative displacement regions. These two parts, here we have negative displacement. Here we have negative displacement. Displacement is here, it is negative. And if we take the absolute value of this, then we will get the distance traveled. So here this is 2 at the 16 minus this is 2 for the 8 plus 4 for the 16 minus 2 for the 8. So this is 2 at the 16. So this is 16 meter is the displacement, and the distance traveled, that will be equal to, so here everything we should add. We, we should not take the negative displacement, we should take the absolute value of it. So then we will get 2 into 8 plus into 4 plus 4 into 4 plus 2 into 4 meters. So this will be equal to 2 into 16 plus 8 plus 8, that is 16 plus 16. So 16 3 is 48, 48 meters. So 48 meter is the distance covered. Now the ratio of displacement to distance that we have to find. Therefore the ratio of displacement is to distance. Displacement is to distance. So that will be equal to, equal to 16 is to 48. 16 is to 48. So the 16 threes are 48. So this will be equal to 1 is to 3. So option B is the correct answer. Here it is told the maximum vertical height to which a man can throw a ball is 136 meter. The maximum horizontal distance up to which he can throw the same ball is maximum vertical height. So he can throw with a velocity u. So it means it will reach some maximum height. So the height reached, that will be equal to, that we can say that is v square equal to u square plus 2s. So at final instant, when it will reach the maximum height, velocity will be 0 and the displacement will be h, and acceleration is minus g, since g is acting vertically downwards. So 0 square, that will be equal to u square minus 2g into h. So h will be equal to u square by 2g. H will be equal to u square by 2g. Now therefore u square by 2g, that is equal to 136 meter. And then the maximum horizontal distance up to which you can throw the same ball is, maximum horizontal distance up to which you can throw the same ball, that will be equal to, So the maximum horizontal distance up to which you can throw the ball, that will be equal to that is u square sine 90° divided by g. That will be equal to, so if he will throw the same ball at an angle of 45° with the horizontal, then only he will reach the then only he can cover the maximum horizontal distance. Maximum horizontal distance he can cover. So which will be equal to u square by g. So u square by g, that will be equal to 136 into 2 meters, which will be 2 6 12, 272 meter. So option B is the correct answer. Then here it is told a projectile fired at 30° to the ground is observed to be at at same height at time 3 second, at time t equal to 3 second and 5 seconds after projection during its flight. The speed of projection of the projectile is. So as you know, the height y at 3 second and at 5 second, that is the same. So as you know, y, that is equal to uy into t minus half gt square. So this is same at 3 second and 5 second. Then you have to find the speed of projection, which is u we have to find out, and y component of the initial velocity, that is u sine 30, that is equal to u by 2. So therefore height h, that is equal to at 3 seconds, that is u by 2 into t. So u by 2 into 3 by 2 into 3 plus half and minus u by 2 into 3 minus half g into 3 square, and that is also same as u by 2 into 5 minus half g into 5 square. Then we have to find out u. So this is 3u by 2 minus 9g by 2, that is equal to 5u by 2 minus 25g by 2. So this will be 25g by 2 minus 9g by 2, that is equal to 5u by 2 minus 3u by 2. So therefore this will be equal to, so 25 minus 9, that is equal to 16, 16g by 2, that is equal to 5u, that is 2u by 2, 2u by 2, u equals to 8g. U equals to 8g, and g is equal to 10 meter per second square. So therefore the initial velocity u will be equal to 80 meter per second, 80 meter per second. So this is 80. So the speed of projection of the projectile is 80 meter per second. Then here it is told for a train engine moving at a speed of 20 meter per second, the driver applies brakes at a distance of 500 meter before the station. Here suppose we have the station, so at a distance of 500 meter before the station for the train to come to rest at the station. So the driver must apply brakes at a distance of 500 meter. So here he applies brakes. So here we will have a constant retardation. So acceleration, that is equal to some minus. So here it is told finally it will come to rest, v equal to 0. Then it is told if the brakes were applied at half of this distance, if at half of this distance, if the brakes were applied, the train engine would cross the station with a speed of root x meter per second. Then the value of x is. So here if he applies the brakes at, if the brakes were applied at half of this distance, means at at x equal to 250 meters if the brakes were applied. So we can say if the if here it is told that assuming same retardation is produced by the brakes. So the retardation A that is produced by the brakes, that is same in both the cases. So in the first case we can tell that v square will be equal to u square is equal to u square plus 2as. So v square v is 0, that is equal to u square, which is 20 square, minus 2a into s is 500, and acceleration is minus a, since why it is the retardation, the retardation is minus a. So therefore then acceleration, the retardation, that will be equal to 400 divided by 1000. So that is 0.4 meter per second square. Then in the second case, in case 2, we have to apply the brakes at half this distance. At half this distance, we have to apply the brakes. At half the distance, we have to apply the brakes. So here, this is, so here v1 is root x, where x we have to find out, and u is 20 meter per second. So here the distance is 250 meters. 250 meters. So therefore, and acceleration or the retardation is minus 0.4 meter per second square. So therefore, we can say v1 square, that is equal to u square plus 2as. So v1 square is root x whole square, that is equal to u square, which is 20 square minus 2 into 0.4 into s. S is 250. So x will be equal to 20 square, which is 400, 250 into 2, that is 500, 500 into 0.4. So that is 4 5s are 20 point. So that is 200. 400 minus 200. So x will be equal to 200. No, sorry. U square, v square equal to u square. Yeah, x will be equal to 200. So it means root x will be v1, that is equal to root over 200, that is 10 root 2. It will come 10 root 2. Okay. So it means x can be 200. So the value of x is 200.